Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, one and all, to this Blades in the Dark Cult of the Circle. Thank you very much for joining us here for an evening of daring do and lovely crimes. My name is Tom. I use he, him pronouns, and I will be your Blade Master for the evening. The city of Doskvol. A city of intrigue and wickedness. A city where the dead walk the streets and ghosts haunt every building. What you're about to see this evening is the tale of some criminals, entrepreneurs here in this terrifying city, and maybe a few little ghosts and ghoulies, maybe even a few gods to keep you entertained this evening. I have been keeping you for far too long, so it is my delight to introduce you to some of our players and our sponsors.
Hello, my name is Evie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing who uses any pronouns. She is a foreign research student at Doskvol Academy, conducting research into shadows and how they interact with the undead. Also has a weird thing for jam. We'll see if it comes up and becomes plot relevant or not.
Hi, I'm Scarlett. I'll be playing Hag, who is the Whisperer. You have any issues with ghosts? She's the one to call. And obviously, she lives with two grannies who are amazing and knit everything. Jam! Oh no.
Hello there, my name's Josh, and I will be playing Wraith, the Spider. Wraith has come from a land far, far away and is currently in the process of hunting down a group known as the Faceless. Will he succeed? Will there be jam? We don't know. Let's find out.
Check out our sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for carefully crafted click-clack math rocks for use in your favourite TTRPGs. Phoenix Dice work with recycled goods, meaning their products and packaging are all made from sustainable materials. You can go to phoenixdice.com to check their entire selection.
Big love to our D20 Club on Patreon. They're great. You're wonderful. We love you so much. And they help us keep the kobolds in line, which is very important. They get up to all sorts of cheeky jam-related activities. Anyway, the D20 Club, they've created a fan Discord where you can come and chat about all things Roll Together. And they've created a wiki page to help you keep track of all of our stories, which you can find at rolltogether.fandom.com. You can join and be as cool as they are from as little as one of your local currencies per month by following the link in chat or in the description below.
You can find us on social media by searching Roll Together RPG or by following the links in chat or in the description below. And if you can't join us live and also want to see any of our previous episodes, you can catch up straight after on YouTube or your favourite podcast provider by searching Roll Together RPG.
Finally, we run queer-friendly tables and encourage and support trans and GNC players and characters in our games. Our players and DM may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering but acknowledge that it does happen. We welcome corrections and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. Check out Safety in Chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG Safety Toolkit.
Last week on Blades in the Dark Cult, three very respectable, very honourable members of the city of Doskvol were brought together by a group known as the Sparrows, led by a mysterious woman known as Serpent. She was assisted by her charming friend slash assistant slash bestie, Biho. The challenge was this. The party was to rob a fancy party and steal a mask shaped like a fox deity and then bring it back for, honourable reasons. The party consisted of... I also have to point out that they broke in by claiming to be triplets, identical triplets, the Rompster triplets. So, first of all, we had playing the role of August Rompster, the journalist. We had Valen, otherwise known as Rafe, who is being played by Josh. He is a spider in the game, organizer, planner, was able to set off a fireworks display in order to give a bit of cover to escape. Covering the wonderful role of Harrison Rompster slash party worker was Norm, otherwise known as who? who is played by Evie, who is a lurk, sneaky soul. Norm is a perfectly normal person. It's not Norm's fault that you can't remember what they look like or what their voice sounds like. It's perfectly fine. Norm also got hideously burnt by some jam, and their skin came off, which is what a thing a human does. And finally, taking on the unfortunate role of Flemp Romster, there was Iris, known as Hag, played by Scarlett. Iris is a whisperer. They can talk to the dead. In fact, they smuggled a ghost into the party, made a ghost contract to simply say, inform us which box contains the mask. Didn't have any more, and then the ghost went off and started bothering the guests and is presumably destroyed. In the process of not only upsetting the Robsters, the party host, Roland Watt, Rafe also knocked out and imprisoned an elderly woman who it turns out is one of the Dimmer Sisters, a secretive group in the city of Doskvol who deal with ghosts. And so for episode 1, they've already made relatively powerful enemies, but they were able to steal the mask and hand it over to their contact and have now been sent off on their merry way.
I thought it went swimmingly.
It absolutely went swimmingly. We do have to remember that Rafe did fall and give himself a nasty bonk. So we had one person who was burnt by jam, one person who got cracked in the jaw, and the other person who I think just kept shouting about people having tummy upsets.
Got ectoflem on them or something.
Yes, you got gunkhead. Yes. Yes, was constantly covered in ectoflem. Yes, or over her nice cardi. Yes, they've played honourably. They've played truly, and that mask is being used for very good reasons, and not at all to cause the apocalypse. So, well done, team. So this is the point where we get to do a little bit of downtime. It's going to be about a week until we come back in. I can safely say the agreement that you had was that you were allowed to steal whatever else you wanted. You didn't manage to do that. Do any of you point out that you didn't manage to steal from the house?
Could we have a flashback to say that we did?
This is what I'm going to say. Yes. If one of you flags it, Serpent is like, I did say a Beho, sort of like, and so because Beho had a big briefcase, almost like he knows, reaches in and hands out 3 purses. It's not a lot of money, but it's enough for 2 coins. So you can add 2 coins, so 2 coins is probably. Again, looking at the monetary, because it's like when you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, it's like, what is a gold worth? 2 coins is a weapon, maybe income for a small business for a week. You know, you've been paid decently for your silence and also for not killing anyone. So congratulations on that.
Yay!
We also get to. You also get to look at your experience to see if you get experience from that. And again, this is the point where we need to flag this from on. If you make a desperate roll, you get it in whatever you're rolling it in, such as if you did a skirmish, desperate, you get it in prowess. I know that a couple of you did desperate rolls last time. We will flag this from now on to make sure you get it. So you would get experience if you have something that says experience trigger. So, for example, the cutter address a challenge with violence or coercion. So can you all see where your triggers are? I realised I should have flagged this to you earlier before.
No, you're right. Mark, is it the Mark XP Playbook Advancement bit?
Yes, yeah.
I have mine.
What is yours, Josh?
So I've got one that said the first bullet point says every time you roll a desperate action, mark XP in that action's attribute.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from memory, I definitely did a consort as a desperate action because that was me trying to convince everyone to go to the balcony.
I would say you get to mark the XP in that. Yep.
And I think I did another one, but I can't remember if it was hunt or prowl.
This is why I'm saying we might need to just get it from now on. But,
okay, yeah. Then we can go back and that's fine.
Yeah. Do you have one that's specific for your playbook?
Yeah. Underneath that, it says at the end of each session, for each item below, mark 1 XP, or instead mark 2 XP if that item occurred multiple times. So I've got 3. I've got you addressed a challenge with calculation or conspiracy. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background, which I didn't do. You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session, which I didn't do.
So would you say you did the first one?
Calculation or conspiracy? I probably did because I conspired.
You calculated.
Yeah, I calculated to get everybody onto the balcony, and I conspired to knock out the demi-sister and put her in a cupboard.
I mean, I'd say that's a conspiracy. Give yourself a XP for that. But yes, I wouldn't say you expressed your background, and you didn't deal with your vice. So that's let's say Scarlet. You see your XP?
I have 2 of the same as Jush, but my only one that's a little bit different is that you addressed a challenge with knowledge or arcane power. And I do believe I did that.
I will give you that. That's
yeah.
So you all got the 2, which is your vice or your background heritage. That one for Evie, what's your unique XP?
So I addressed a challenge with stealth or evasion.
I think you did.
Do you know what else?
What?
I think I addressed something with my background or heritage using my learned academic knowledge.
Okay. No, I'll give that to you. You were able to. The fact that you were able to just instantly go, I know what this is, when it described it. Yeah, no, I'd say that's part of it. Yeah, so 2 XP for you. Wraith did take jam damage and also, as I said, fell into a door at one point.
Yeah.
Startling the poor chef. Great. Okay, so that leads us nicely on to the more things with the downtime. That gives you a chance to do multiple things, including dealing with your stress and also to deal with some healing. Also, you take heat, but I think that's going to come in later when we actually got a thing, where I'd say you probably took about 2 heat. People don't necessarily know it was you, although Rafe did get his face spotted, and then everyone would be like, why did that very charming server rob us? Yes, I also like to point out the Rumpster trilogy, the triplets. They are in more trouble until people went, looks nothing like the people who robbed us.
Definitely them. I don't know what you're talking about.
Definitely, I can't tell you. So I would say that I will give you, because there's various things you can do for your downtime. A lot of these stuff are related to the crew. I will give you, because usually you get to do 2 things, and I will give you those 2 things. One is to recover, and one is to deal with your vice. So, to deal with your, I said, because you took stress, right? Yeah. So I will assume that you will want to go and deal with your stress. So we're gonna RP how it works, but the way it's going to be is that you look at what is your weakest quality. So this is like the opposite of the resistance roll. So what your lowest quality is. So that's either insight, prowess, or resolve. That decides how many dice you're going to roll. And then that's the highest is the amount you take off your stress. In this case, if you overindulge, bad things happen. So maybe a little bit of stress, that's fine. But if you overindulge, problems. So, who would like to go first in trying to deal with their stress?
So I've only got 1 point in prowess in prowl. So
Yeah.
would that be what I would roll? Because the other
That's-
insight and
Those are-
resolve have both got 3 in, spread across the
yes.
skills.
So that would be yes, verifies. It's just so yes, you're making insight attribute using your character's lowest attribute rating in that.
in that
So,
skill, which would
in
be
that skill.
prowl of 1 dice. So
Yeah, so you get to roll 1 dice.
that's a 2.
Cool. Tell us how you take 2 stress off by doing your vice.
By doing my vice, oh
Yep.
god. Okay, so my vice, for just so the audience knows, is obligation. And what I will do is during the night, because we haven't got like a headquarters or a joint accommodation that we all work from yet. So I would go back to the place that I stay at, drop my gear off, change my clothes so I don't look like a fancy pants idiot anymore, get back into my normal spider clothes and go out onto the streets, and I will be looking for information on a group of people that I know have come into the city recently, and for anybody who is looking, I carry a ceremonial dagger with me when I'm not in disguise mode,
So
which
it's a
I
case of
constantly have my
going
hand on.
So you've got your hand on your dagger. You're going around asking. It's not an frustrating evening, but it's not a successful evening. There's not enough for people to sort of. I'd say you've started putting feelers out. Actually, I'm gonna make another sort of thing. There's another thing. What you can do in your downtime is you can work towards a long-term project. So, I suppose I should have told you that before. I said no. You must deal with
But
the stress.
it works perfectly to do. Works perfectly,
Yeah.
sort of like meshing the two together and doing
Yeah.
both at the same time. Yeah.
So would you also like to do that? Would you like to work towards a long-term project, or would you like to try and do some healing to try and deal with your various injuries?
I'll do the healing first.
Yeah. So, I tell you. Yeah. No, I was gonna move around. And go, I'll turn your vice into a long-term project. You know that's out there, and in fact, I'd say you go and ask one of your contacts who is like, I'll see what I can do. So I'm going to, if it's okay with you, say we're just going to start that. You haven't got
Yep.
any points in it yet, but some questions are. I'm going to say it's 12 because this is big.
Yeah.
You know, actually 8 just for this guy to be able to go. I'm going to look into it. It's not that you're going to find it, but it's enough that he's able to have a little looky-loo.
And then
Great.
once that's done, in order to remove the stress properly, when I go back to my house, might not be a house, might just be like a little den or something that I sleep in. I have like a little shrine set up, and there are 2 broken masks. They're one's broken around where the eye area is, but the eyepiece is still there. It's just not attached, and the other one is completely missing the jaw area. And it's all in pieces and everything, and it's in front of like a candled shrine that I sort of almost pray in front of.
I think that's the thing, that you go, okay, wheels are in motion in the city, and then you spend a good amount of time in focus, prayer, recollection, working towards it. And yes, so you can take 2 stress off. As I said, do you also want to work on some healing?
I would like to get rid of my jam damage. I would assume that I would take the jam off of my body and put it on some bread and then eat it.
Obviously.
Feels the damage from the jam.
You
A little bit of skin on there, but hey ho.
you eat the
That's fine,
jam. You're still burnt. You still got jam damage from that. That doesn't. I will say. Okay, because I like it. Usually you have to go to a doctor. roll me a d6.
That's 4.
Amazing. Okay, so for a healing clock, it's 4 parts. You take 2. So you are... It's not healed, but you are healing.
Okay. I clicked on clock and it did the whole thing, and I realized, oh yes, I can click on each individual bit.
Yeah.
That's me done.
Amazing. I'm just gonna... as I said, okay, friends, we've got... Actually, I'm gonna read you all the... So there's acquire asset, long-term project, recover, reduce heat, train, or vice, which deals with your stress. Any preferences for people?
Mine might be reduced heat in case the creepy sisters got a whiff of me.
I do not think that is a terrible idea, to be honest. Okay. Tell me what you're going to do to reduce heat.
Oh, God. I'm going to, with the help of my beautiful old lady assistant.
Hello, dears.
I'm going to sort of put it out that I was working really hard that night. Well, I was helping my lovely old lady talk to some spirits like we normally do, rather than me going out. Like, she, fainted and I had to help her.
I've got very bad blood sugar. I'm prone to falling down.
It happens when we're doing a really stressful summoning. It just takes out of her, so I had to look after my lovely old lady. And if anyone says anything different, they're just lying.
Right. So, you get to make an action roll, but you get to add a d6 because you're using one of your companions. So if you're using a contact or a friend, you get an extra d6.
Yay!
So what's that going to be? Is that sway? Is that command? Is that...
I have a dot in consort, but that doesn't sound right, does it?
I mean, if you want to, because then that would be 2d6 for consort.
Yeah, I do want to. I do.
Okay, so roll me a consort with an extra d6.
What position?
Standard.
Controlled, desperate, risky.
Controlled.
Very well.
Yeah.
That's a 5.
A 5? A
5.
5, you say?
A 5.
I can safely tell you that with 1 5, that takes it down 2. So I had said that the heat was 2. So
yes.
you definitively get the Dimmer sisters off your back.
Yeah. I don't want them coming after me.
You absolutely do not. Beautiful. Okay, so I know usually you do it for the gang, but for sweet little hag, absolutely not. She was there all night making a peppermint tea for Edna, who had taken a funny turn.
Yeah, she worked really hard and it just took it out of her.
So you also now, you can do one other thing if you like. Do you want to work on you can work on your stress, you can recover if you take an injury, you can try and get an asset, like an item or vehicle, you can work towards a long-term project, or you can just train yourself in a skill you're working on.
I would like to work on my stress, please.
Amazing. Okay, so that would be a vice roll. So again, you have to choose which is your lowest, and then roll that. As you do, tell us how you deal with your vice. What is your vice? Who do you go to work on it?
My vice is weird.
Cool.
Hag, I love a bit of weird.
Hag, where do you go to that evening?
I go out and sniff out spirits because I want to see what I can do. I want to sniff them out and see if I can put them in jars or I just can see if I can control them later. I just sniff them out.
Okay, make me a vice roll.
That's an indulge vice. Do I add any bonus dice or?
if you let's have a check. Attribute using your lowest. No, you don't add anything to it.
Oh, I've got a 2 and a 3.
Okay, so you take the highest, so you take off 3 stress.
Lovely job.
Have you overindulged?
I have 1 stress left.
Phew.
Yay!
Okay, so you spend the evening looking for weird stuff. And in fact, you end up at a rival seance. Which, again, with like Houdini, who was friends with Arthur Conan Doyle, but a large part of it was that Arthur Conan Doyle was sure that Houdini had magic powers and got really upset that he wouldn't tell him the truth. And Houdini was like, no, I'm a con man. He's like, yeah, but Harry, you can trust me, your best friend. And he's like, no, stop it. You have a similar thing where you go to a seance where, again, with a man in long robes who's like, oh, I can see, and you can see like him tapping his shoe and like lights going off, and it's not, you're not like, oh, a con man, you're like, yay!
Oh, that's a good one! Yay!
And it's actually where I think you use a little bit of your like attuning power to just sort of like, oh, you want more light, and the light getting bigger and bigger, and he's like, oh, the other ghosts are angry. No refunds.
They're not, they're bored in the corner, I'm just saying. They're bored.
You look over, and it's again just a man just soaking wet from going in the canal, just going, he's making a lot of noise.
Oh no, yeah.
So yes, it's actually, after what was quite a dangerous evening, it's quite fun. It's things about weird social situations, odd. Weird wet ghosts in the corner, yes.
100% normal. What are you talking about?
100% normal.
A Tuesday.
Amazing. So that's your 2. Who?
Oh, me. Who?
Who?
So Norm Alexander Human is going to has the same idea that will help both heal and indulge in a vice to help with some stress. They're kind of going to go hand in hand. So they're going to take a nice long walk down a secluded beach.
Yeah.
Can I ask what the cycle of the moon is?
Ooh, what a fascinating question. Because I'll have you know that next week it will be the full moon.
Well, ooh, that means the moon is powerful tonight. So, who? Is going to do is get to a secluded corner of the beach, strip naked, walk down to the surf, shed my damaged, jammy skin, cover the rest of myself in raspberry jam, and walk serenely into the surf before briefly going under. What happens under there, nobody knows. Not even Norm.
It's a question that, again, if you're asking those sort of questions, very forward of you. So, this also interesting to learn that your middle name is Alexander. Yeah. What a delight. So yes, Norm strips skin, walks off into the very grubby. Again, this is mostly a business city where like the whaling ships come in and out, but that's again, I would say it's more like for us living in London with the Thames, where you're like, yeah, there's tide, but normal people wouldn't go in, but who is not a normal person? Yes. Do you want to roll yourself a vice roll for that?
So I roll.
So your lowest, if your weakest quality is it insight, prowess, or resolve?
It would either be resolve or insight, because they both have a dot in each.
Fair enough. Should we say resolve? So if you roll that.
Cool. So that's 1 dot. So that's 1 dice, right?
Yes.
That was a 1.
You take off 1 stress.
Yay! I will say if anyone does happen to pass by as Norm disappears below the waves, they'll probably just hear a from underneath.
Someone does, and then it's like, keep walking, Margaret. Tonight's not the night.
And this is the point where Josh edits what Evie just said out and overlaps the World of Warcraft Murloc noise where they go.
Look, you give weird as a vice option. I'm gonna make it as weird as I can.
No one knows what happens to you when you're in the surf.
I hope no one finds my skin on the shore.
Well, quite, because otherwise we would have a Selkie issue, and we don't want that.
Nope.
I can actually say none of you have overindulged, but I was willing to steal your skin there. You come back after a certain amount of time, your skin's still there.
No, I've got
fresh skin.
underneath.
Fresh skin.
Fresh skin.
Actually, I would say that you come back, your skin is gone. You don't know what. Someone has taken the skin. It's just, hopefully it's taken by the canal.
I'm going to see it at the next market, just hanging up somewhere.
Absolutely. I made myself a lovely rug out of the human skin.
Human.
Yes, this beautiful thing of just like, in the part moonlight, as just this naked humanoid just emerges back out, puts their clothes back on, takes off. Okay, so that's your stress. Do you also want to roll for healing? Because you're counting.
So we'll roll for healing as well. Is that the same kind of deal?
So with healing, it is I'm going to say, usually, because I said you usually go to a doctor, but let's just say if you roll a d6, we'll see what you get for your clock.
Okay. That was a 6.
A 6? That's 3 segments.
Ooh! Shedding
So-
the skin, kids. It does wonders.
So you have 3 segments. So next healing, your jam damage is fixed.
Great. What jam can damage, jam can heal away.
Praise be to jam. Hallelujah. As you can see, folks, the cult is already starting. So,
We worship the Jam Lord.
don't tell the
Possibly.
fox. Yes. I'd say, well done, team. That was a very successful downtime. You didn't cause yourself more damage. Hag managed to get the heat off herself and also went to a lovely seance. And healing is coming along nicely. But amazingly, when who asked a question, well, what's the moon like? Why, I say next week there's a full moon, and interesting things happen at a full moon. And in fact, you are all given an invitation. So, as I said, a few days later, you and your little hideouts are all given a nice hand-signed card with a stamp, a little LS, where you are invited to a midnight mass, to further your opportunities. I assume you're all going to go. Although I said this is, hey, until proven otherwise, this is the heist. So, I will also go, in your downtime, I will give you the opportunity to prepare. If you want to do any research into who this might be, where you're going to go exactly, why they might want to talk to you, I'm going to give you the opportunity.
Yeah, I'll use my university learning and education connections to do some research onto who this LS could be and their standing in the city, I suppose.
Ooh, Norm, my dear. Let's go ask some questions, shall we? How would you like to find out who LS is?
Just an Well, first I'd like to pick up a phone book and see how many people have that.
There aren't phone books, but there is definitely the who's who of yes. I would say that that's using a. I think that's just hilarious that you just open and you're like a massive book of like hereditary titles. This, the wars, and you're like, LS. Let me look at the back. Yes, you begin flicking through. What would you like to roll?
Study, I suppose, or it might be survey, but I'm worse at that.
Should we say study, as you spend the afternoon looking through the big who's who?
Okay. And I've got one dot in that.
Yep. So
it's one dice.
It's one dice.
Cool. Sorry for the repetitions.
Oh, no,
I am not very smart.
No, hey.
Ooh.
I believe in you.
With my character, it's because it's a 6.
I would even say that you're like, this is confusing. I was going to say, oh, you could use one of your contacts. I don't think you do. You were able to look up you're like, who could it be? LS. Lord Skirlock. Now, Lord Skirlock is one of the ancient nobles of the city. He has been here. Well, there's definitely been a Lord Skirlock in the city since the time the city came in. Most people would go, well, it's impossible. He's obviously had sons and they've passed down all kinds of. As you look and you go deeper into the file and you look at the paintings, it is that thing of like you seeing like a man standing there with his hands on the shoulder of someone, and the person who's got the hand on the shoulder, they keep changing, but the man doesn't. So this is what people would call creepy nonsense. A seemingly immortal being that lives in the city. And again, from like your research into stuff, you were like, oh yes, okay. As an academic as well, you're going, if I'm being personally invited by this undying lord, it might be good for research. It's.
Want to see how his shadow reacts to things. As per my thesis, I'm working on it.
I love the audacity. You're like, hey, this undying guy. Hey, what's your shadow like? What were the wars like? They good? But more importantly, how do they affect your shadow?
Mm-hmm. Change through time.
But again, you're looking at a man with a widow's peak and a very tidy beard. He's described as enigmatic, cold, and old-fashioned, for reasons best known to himself. Yes, so you get the idea that you're going to be in very refined society.
It picks out their best cardigan. Mm-hmm. It's a slightly lighter beige than usual. Finer knit.
You there in your halls, like, let me feel.
They're all identical to the naked eye.
You really just need to get in there. Amazing. Okay, so you, for one, are not going in blind to this. You've got a kind of, and again, you're smart. You're kind of like, hey, weird nonsense, but I've been involved in weird nonsense. Some would comment
weird
about
nonsense.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm the weird nonsense. Okay, so Norm has an idea. Anyone else want to?
If we're treating this like a heist,
Yes,
I'm going to take a light load.
sure. I mean, yes, very, very sensible. I mean, would be weird to come in armed to what you assume is another party, but yes, light load.
Yeah, well, I've still got my concealed palm pistol on me because I always have that, along with along with a now filled up vial of slumber essence.
You went to refill that, yeah.
Yeah, find cover, identity, and a spirit vein. They're all the things I always take with me.
I mean, it would be weird. And again, it's that sort of, like I said, it's like it would be weird to come in armed to a party, but you're gonna bring weapons.
Yeah.
And everyone is going to bring some form. You expect me not to have my palm pistol? Come on.
Yes. I think I will do a similar sort of thing to what Norm did, and I will find out some information on LS so that I can go in a little bit more prepared. I will go to one of my shrewd friends, Salia, who is an information broker. That's somebody that I have thumbs up as a good friend.
Okay.
And once I find out that information, I will tick off one of my light loads as a fine bottle of whiskey that I'll take as a gift.
Beautiful. Okay. What role are you making to talk to your contact?
Consort.
Cool. Roll me consort.
Is good dice. I miss rolling physical dice.
Yeah.
The hell? I rolled 2 2s.
Ooh.
I can push that, can't I?
I mean, would you like to?
Well, it's for information. I'll take the fine bottle of whiskey anyway, so no, I won't push that.
So what was the name of your contact?
Salia, who is an information broker.
Salia. You go talk to Salia. They are in. Again, they're in a cafe. They're in like a little coffee house, and they sit down across, and you do you basically just say, "Who's LS?"
Yeah, I've heard rumors of a figure known as LS. The thing is that we'll be sitting there drinking coffee, and I always wear a faceplate on my face. But in order for me to drink coffee, I have like a little hatch that I lift up, and it's got like a little like rectangular shape that I can stick a straw through. And I just
you are sipping your slightly is it full hot coffee you're having?
Oh, I'd let it go cold a little bit first.
Yeah, you're having slightly chilled coffee. Salia's like, if I was honest with you, my friend, I would avoid that man. He's involved in a lot of. Sort of pauses, looks over, and like, I understand that you might be involved in some. Again, pauses. He's bad news. He's involved in a lot of the more mystical things. Again, this is someone you know relatively well, and he usually is very willing to help. The fact, like, again, the way I've been playing it, very hesitant to act and keeps stopping and keeps looking around. You're smart. You know you're being observed at the best of times, but even this is a bit. I will also. It's not a very useful conversation. As I said, Salia's very unwilling to talk more, but the bit of information you do get is you are going to be taken to the far east part of Doskvol, to an area known as Six Towers. Now, and again, this is information that all of you will probably know. So Six Towers used to be the most refined part of the city. So last week, you went to Brightstone, where all the big mansions are. These are the old mansions.
Yeah.
And the people, a lot of these are old, crumbling mansions. The family moved on. There are still families that live in Six Towers and have been there for generations. So again, if you're thinking about spooky nonsense where they're just like, no, we're not leaving. There have always been, Scarlett is getting excited. There have always been a Roselle in Roselle Towers. So, Rafe, what you do get is that this is, again, spooky, dangerous, more so than most stuff. I mean, I know you just robbed a fool, basically. Be prepared. But you were invited.
Mm.
And that's always the thing, you know. You couldn't possibly enter unless you'd been invited. So
at hearing that
Yeah.
I'm going to be taken to the Six Towers, I'll instantly think, I will probably see Hag again then.
You get that feeling.
And wonder if Norm's going to be there as well. But before I leave, I'll slip over some payment to Salia for the information. Head back to my hovel that I live in, pick up a fine bottle of whiskey from my homeland, and then I will make my way to the party.
You're making your way to the Hag.
I don't want a copy. So
Hey.
technically I won't.
No. If you do, I'm willing to give you all different bits of information. But
All right. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna ask my strange friend, Nyrix, a possessor ghost.
Nyrix.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you let Nyrix possess someone else, or?
When Nyrix does that, do they hurt them in any way?
They could, but I think you've got a good understanding with them. Like, what was it? Old Bob, who you'd like. Old Bob would probably have just slammed your head into a table for fun. But Nyrix, I think Nyrix likes you and likes talking to you. So, are you going to put
Pop
Edna?
in, Edith. Off you pop. Come on, get in, Edith.
I think you mean Edna, but
What? Edna, Edith. She changes. No, it's Edith.
it was
I am
Edna.
Edith.
Okay, it's Edith. Okay,
Edith Edna. She likes to change them around.
that's her
She
name.
thinks she's being really sneaky. But...
Okay, so Edna is her crime name. Edith is her real name. So,
Imagining an identical twin situation and you didn't realise that there were twins there.
I'm afraid that's now canon. That you have
two amazing old ladies. Yes, I'm down.
Which, actually, you've inadvertently once again created a lovely piece of lore. The Dimmer sisters
Mhm.
come as twins.
Oh, they used to be. Yes.
So who? Okay. Tell you what, Scarlett. Pick a colour of cardigan. I want 2 different colours.
Oh, a nice cerulean and a
Cerulean.
plum.
Okay, so would you like cerulean or plum?
Plum.
You got Edna.
Go on, Edna.
Okay,
And Edna,
dear.
please.
Okay, dear. Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine. You all right?
I'm tickly boom, my dear. Been a while since I've. Which one's it? Edna?
Yeah.
Reaches into her pocket, finds like a toffee, and just like throws it up, catches it. So,
See?
what are
Yeah.
we talking about?
I got this invitation.
Right. So what? March ball
I don't-
or
I don't know, some sort of party, a meeting. I'm not entirely sure.
All right.
Do you know who that is?
You hand over the.
Mhm.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Again, I'd like everyone to remember this is like a 5 foot tall, tiny old woman who's just walking around going, "Oh shit! Oh
Oh God.
fuck!"
What? Oh, what?
You have been invited to a party with Lord Skurlock. Now, ask me how I know about Lord Skurlock.
How do you know about Lord Star?
I don't. Because he doesn't turn up to ghosts. Nothing. A complete void.
Really?
Yeah. We can't see him. We can't track him. We can't do anything to the Skurlock.
Fascinating.
Ain't it just? That's, what did you do to get invited to Skurlock Mansion?
Well, I did a job. I did not too long ago. They might be connected. I don't know. It seems a little bit coincidental, but
Oh, yeah, no, love. I'm sure it's a complete coincidence that you start mucking around in the cult and then suddenly, no, not the, not, oh, not the, yeah,
mucking.
mocking. This tiny old lady is just, yeah. I mean,
We grab the mask. Okay.
Ooh,
Right.
how delightful. Oh, well, nothing wrong with mucking around with masks, eh?
Job's a job.
Now, all I'm saying to you, my dear, my sweet, my beloved, my
Yes.
sweet little hag,
Yes.
get out of the city.
Huh?
Get out of the city. Have absolutely nothing to do with the guy that we can't... You can't hear him when he walks. It's weird. It's weird.
Right.
And I'm a ghost. I died doing some creepy stuff, and now I'm this. But
You're lovely that way, though.
oh, I am a delight.
You are a delight.
You hear the door creak open, and he just like, would you care for another cup of tea? Yes, Edith. More tea. And then she's like, oh, and gives you like a kind of disappointed look and shuts the door.
It's fine. It's fine. Right. Am I in danger or?
I realise I've been doing this all without you roll. What are you going to roll?
This is my busy mate.
Oh, he's
mate.
Nerix is very excited.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any? Can I roll a tune to see if I can get?
Yeah.
And like, am I actually in danger though?
Yeah.
Position controlled.
Controlled.
Yeah. Ooh. 2 and a 4.
So 4. Okay. Are you in trouble? I mean, you're smart, right?
Well, try to be, you know.
How do you feel about demons? Exactly.
Okay. Right.
I keep having to point out, tiny old lady clambering over the table. Give no one your real name. Don't sign anything. Just use your demon nonsense, right?
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Boop. Boops your nose.
Yeah.
He ate my toffee.
I'll get some more. Then there's a cup of tea coming.
Okay.
Okay.
And tiny little Edna, lovely, walks out of the room. Okay.
Lovely. I'm definitely going to take my arcane implements for
Absolutely.
demons and
yes.
a blade. I'm taking a blade.
Are you going in light?
No, I'm going in medium.
Okay. Okay.
The normal.
I say like for the visual, like you put on the coat, but you've put on like an extra like bandolier with pockets and stuff.
I do love my layers, so things get hidden under them, and got a little thing for my blades.
Okay.
I'm ready.
It's midnight, so you are layered, but also if someone decides to pat you down, it's not going to be so easy to hide.
Well, dangerous streets.
Dangerous streets. Okay, so Rafe is light, Hag is medium. Who? What do you want to go in? Light, medium, or heavy?
Probably going in light,
Smart.
assuming that we got a mask. We're probably not going to be killed. Probably. I will bring some fancy jam with me as like an offering, you know. Honestly, I'm assuming vampires at this point, so if I can find blood jam on any market, I might just try and...
Interesting. I'll tell you what. Roll me a flat d6.
Sure.
I could always give you some jam with fleshy bits on if you want.
Oh, that could help. I got a 4.
Okay. I would say, do you go to your usual jam provider to ask?
I think I think my usual jam provider is aware of my weird tastes. Being from a weird land, is accustomed to my odd requests.
Jam
So-
dealer.
Yes.
A jam dealer.
So you want jam with meat in it? Like...
No, just like congealed blood, but in a jam paste.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Norm. Meet me.
Size.
Yeah, meet me round the back in about an hour.
T-poses until that time.
They ask you to meet them in an hour. You don't leave. You just T-pose until eventually. I'd even say the fact that you haven't left. It's like, okay, fine. Hands you a paper bag. But as you look in, it's definitely it's gloopy. It's a very red jam. And it almost looks like definitely there had been meat in it, but it's fine, like scooped out. And then trying to it's you've now got blood jam, which add to your inventory.
Can I ask for an artisanal ribbon?
What colour?
Red.
You get given a blood red ribbon, which is tied
Oh,
beautifully.
yeah.
It's...
I hope these are vampires. If not, this is in very poor taste.
I was going to say, this is either going to be the best present ever or the worst present ever.
Mhm.
Speaking of Hag, are you bringing anything to the party?
As a gift?
Yeah.
One of the knitted scarves I've been given over the years by my lovely ladies.
Oh, so you're re-gifting Lord Skurlock? Okay.
I asked permission first. I've done that before. They get grumpy with me.
Well, if you're just going to give them away with that, but sure.
It's a gift. I'm going to a fancy house.
If you want to have a cold neck, nothing
But
wrong.
I have this one. It's my favourite one.
It is a beautiful mix of cerulean and plum
Oh.
that they have obviously both worked on. It's been that wonderful thing where they both, again, indistinguishable apart from the cardigans to other people, but to you have spent so long with them.
Yeah.
But also that weird thing of like going, okay, if you take a gift from one of them, you probably should take a gift from the other one.
Yeah.
They're usually together, but yeah. Okay, you. What colour's the scarf that you're re-gifting? Is it the colour of blood?
Well, I don't have any inclinations that there's any kind of vampirism involved.
No.
I just know he's super spoopy and very quiet. Maybe a nice black one.
A nice black scarf.
Black.
Oh well, that's if you'd ever decided to become a justice bringer in the night. Can't get too cold up on the roof. I'm just sad that you're not the Dark Knight. That's all. The dark, lonely night. That's all.
I know.
Isn't it sad when your grandmother's so disappointed you didn't become Batman? No, Nana.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Maybe they should have been stabbed in Crime Alley. That's all I'm saying.
Wouldn't it be more, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. I love you, bye.
I love you.
Get you more toffees.
Good. Although they start doing it, but they're like, I'm the knight. Oh, I can't get there. I haven't got the gristle in my throat.
You do it really well, though. I totally believed it then.
Thank you. You sort of, as you're leaving, you sort of crouch down, so you get a kiss on one cheek, kiss on the other. Be careful.
Yes, don't worry. I'm packing.
I'm packing heat.
Packing.
What's that? A knife. Oh God, where did you get a knife?
A knife.
I'm just just saying it's probably not a bad. All of you have been smart enough to just go, yep, let's bring some weapons. And speaking of that, as we watch as our three heroes exit their accommodation and begin heading east to the Skurlock mansion. Well, that certainly happened, did it not? Such lovely crimes. Now, if you have enjoyed what we've put out for you here this evening, you'll find us playing Dungeons & Dragons at Roll Together RPG. That's Mondays and Tuesdays, 6 p.m. UK time, and on Fridays we play other TTRPGs, such as Blades in the Dark. Now, all our shows can be found at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all of our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There are podcast versions of all our shows available, where all good podcasts are available. Simply search for Roll Together RPG. Now, massive thank you to the D20 Club on Patreon. I can't do the heart symbol, but I do adore every single one of you. Now, there's a link in the chat if you feel like you want to join these fine folks by donating one of your local currency, which, as we have well established in the world of Dungeons & Dragons, is worth 1 goat. We'll be absolutely delighted to join you. As previously mentioned, they made us a Discord, they made us a wiki. They are top. Thank you very much to our supporters and our sponsors. Don't forget, if you search on social media, we are Roll Together RPG. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and don't let the blue coats catch you.